Instead of focusing on politics, the pandemic, and vaccine distribution as we have so much lately, we're going to spend the rest of this half hour taking a look at one man's journey of immigrating from Iran during the Iran-Iraq War. He and his family had to take shelter from bombs every night, and throughout his life, he has overcome extraordinary obstacles. His story jumped out at me specifically because in some ways we can relate. We all face incredible obstacles in life, and in this pandemic, that's how we've been in the last year, facing obstacles. Harma Hartouni is the author of a book called Getting Back Up. With everything that is going on in our country right now, in the world with this pandemic, we all face challenges. We all face brokenness in our pasts and how we get over that. So I want you to start, please, with where you grew up, when you left your country, and then go from there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. So I grew up in Iran. Although I was born in the US, I couldn't speak English when I moved back at the age of 19. Back home, before I moved back, I had a car accident. My car just got totaled completely and my both legs broke. I was told I'm never gonna walk. And I am walking, I'm dancing, I'm jumping, I do hiking. It's all good.
People today, they're losing their business, they're losing their loved ones. They're just trying to figure out, how am I going to pay my mortgage? I want you to relate to those challenges that people are facing right now.
Very good question. Yes, I left the country and I started again, but I'm still going through some of the challenges a lot of people are going through. I lost someone very close to myself to COVID. I lost someone who committed suicide because he couldn't take it. I know people have lost their jobs locally. This is one thing I learned. It still can be worse than what it is. So if you constantly cry over what has happened and do not accept it, you can just not move forward.
Harma, hang on for just 2 minutes. I have to take a quick break. And I had mentioned earlier, before we started the interview in my intro to you, that you have become a huge success. I want to get into that a little bit as well, because that's what I want people to really feel inspired by. No matter what your circumstances are right now, there can be something really bright to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll be right back. I'm continuing my conversation with Harma Hartouni, who's in Los Angeles. He is the author of the book called Getting Back Up. The reason why I wanted to speak to him is because he has gone through a lot of challenges, as all of us have. We have been through very difficult things in our lives. You wrote about it. You talked about getting back up. But you know what? And becoming a success. You are a very successful entrepreneur, real estate in California, which can't be an easy job by any means. But give me like a first tangible step that you would tell somebody else who's gone through some tough stuff and they're like, I don't even want to get out of bed. What's that first step, Harma?
The question is, why did I manage to find success? And I'm not the only one who's gone through challenges, and some people can't. I think I just didn't have a choice to look back and cry over it, or I've been through 9 years of therapy to bury everything, to deal with everything that happened. My culture is pretty close. When you come out, it's bad. When you become an agent, it's kind of disrespectful to them because you have to be an attorney, you have to be a doctor to be successful. Otherwise, you're not. So I went through so much, and I have to be honest with you, when you're successful, people accept you faster.
I know.
And it's true. It's much easier to be happy and excited and positive when you have your bills paid and you're good and healthy. But when you're unhealthy and you're dealing with so many other challenges is where you're cornered. And I will say, number one, change your environment. I have changed people around me, and I didn't want to be the best one at all times. And I will say, if you're not at wrong sometimes, that means you're just not learning anything. So it's okay to be wrong and learn out of it, and surround yourself with that.
And you know what? We have to be intentional about how to choose joy. There are days that are just not joyful. I get it. But you have to intentionally choose that sometimes, and sometimes you just can't, and that I understand too. I had a rough morning, so I really wanted to speak with you today, Harma, because I thought, oh, I could use a little inspiration today. So I appreciate you sharing this story. Again, the book is called Getting Back Up, and we could all use some joy and motivation, I think. So thank you.